Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. I hope you had a lovely long weekend and you're feeling all right going back to work or whatever you do today. I'm here because a lot of people want to know what I feed Kaia, because I have done my holistic nutrition and I've tried probably 6 different foods before I found one that Kaia liked. But a lot of people want to know what she eats, so I'm here to show you. So Kaia's about 60 pounds. So based on what it says on the box, she gets about a pound of food a day, half in the morning and half at night. Just weight-wise, I'm going to go through the different, how much you're supposed to feed them based on weight, but I'm going to show you the box first. I saved the box from when I bought her food. She gets a raw food that's called Naturals. The box looks like this. This is the turkey one. The beef one is identical, except the label is red here and it says beef. Big surprise. It shows you the breakdown of what percentage of what is in there, and then the ingredients are on the side. So I've had an interesting experience with food so far because Kaia was on kibble when we got her, and we tried grain-free kibble that didn't really do so well. She still had diarrhea and stomach upsets. We tried a stomach-sensitive one that worked for a little while, probably about 2-3 months, and then it started to act up again. So we switched her to raw. The first raw, she wasn't too fond of. The second one, the bone content was too high, and when that happens, they can actually get diarrhea or tears in their intestines if the bone shards are too big. And then we finally found Naturals, and I actually met the guy who created it at an event down in Woofer and Vaughan, their Holistic Pet Center, and I talked to him probably for half an hour before, and he sent me home with a sample, and I gave it to Kaia. She had no diarrhea for probably 3 days, and I was so excited. So I went and bought a box. They just changed what the box looked like. It used to look different. The packages are individually wrapped. They're now only in 1 pound at a time. The package is green with a wolf on the front. And probably my only complaint about these guys is that they just changed. They used to sell two pound things. And I have the prices here. It used to be, they would sell you a package of six packages of 2 pounds, which is 12 pounds, and I would have to buy 2, and that would be about $90. Now, you can only get 8x1, which is this box, times 2, which is about 16 days of food for Kaia, instead of 24 for $70. That's my only complaint, because that almost doubles, well, probably like another $40 a month in food for Kaia just for this. But honestly, for her not to have diarrhea regularly is definitely worth it. For me, anyway. So, when you're looking at raw food, typically they're going to be majority muscle meat. And this one is 70%, which is pretty good. 10% is organ meat, which is the liver, their intestines, the heart, that kind of thing. And 10% ground bone, which is fairly low. I don't think there's one that's lower, because when I spoke to him, he said that was one of the main issues he had with previous dog food. And the last 10% is fruits and vegetables. So they're all ground up in there. I have the ingredient list for you. Now, the type of meat obviously depends on what kind you buy. They have turkey, beef, chicken, etc. Kai's not a huge fan of chicken, and she's not a huge fan of fish, so that left me with turkey and beef. Some other raw food companies have lamb and bison and crazy things like that, but for Kaia, she likes turkey and beef. So they have, this one has turkey meat, turkey organs, turkey bones. Then those are all ground up, and what comes out is basically just a pink slab that has different colors in it. It has spinach, carrots, pumpkin, green bean, cranberries, blueberries, apple cider vinegar, and alfalfa. I haven't had an issue with this food. I find as long as you remember to pull it out a day or so before, so they keep them in the freezer. I bought 2 big Tupperwares at the dollar store. and I pull them out a day before so that they're thawed all the way through. It used to have to be 2 days for the 2-pound ones, and now it's 1 day for the 1-pound ones, so that it's thawed in the middle, because if you give it to them partly frozen, that's going to make them sick. I also have the nutrient breakdown on the side. So per 100 grams, which is obviously not even close to what Kaia gets, the calories are 138, the protein is 7.2, which is nice and high, fat is 7.7, which they do need some. They can't just eliminate the fat altogether. Moisture is 72.5, which is pretty good. Most kibble has a very low moisture content, which makes the dogs drink more water. And if they don't drink water, they can actually weaken their system, because obviously water is very good for us. It cleans everything and helps our skin and things like that. But raw food also helps clean the mouth, because they have to chew and grind the food, and the meat helps to clean the teeth, because this is their biologically appropriate diet. And a lot of people say the kibble do help clean the teeth, but considering there's 70% sugar, it actually doesn't, well, not doesn't help, but it not as much as raw. Has 0.6% fiber, 2.7% ash, 0.44% calcium, and 0.41% potassium, or phosphorus, sorry. So that's the bulk of what she gets. She does have a fairly sensitive stomach, because when we got her, she was on kibble, and she did okay on it, but I wanted to get her in her tip-top shape, so we started giving her probiotics too. This is what the package looks like. Pretty easy. I get it at Pet Value. This food I get at Global, so I do go to both the stores regularly. It's called Head to Tail. They do have one for cats. The little blue label is for dogs. The other one is for cats, so do make sure to get the right one. This is just a digestive support. It comes in 60 capsules. She gets one with her breakfast and one with her dinner. It keeps her gut healthy, because that way parasites can't grow there. If I ever forget to give it to her, that's the only time she's ever gotten parasites, so a lot of times I have to keep up with it. Now, thank you for the like. Dogs 30 and under only need 30 and under pounds. Only need 1 a day, so you can split it half and half, depending on how many meals they eat, of course. 30 to 60 is two daily, and over 60 is 3. The active ingredients in this are N-acetylglucosamine, which of course helps with the joints, but it is from shrimp and crabs, so if your pet does have a seafood allergy, gotta watch out for that. It's 250 milligrams of that. It has a proprietary blend of probiotics, the Lactobacillus acidophilus, bromelain, papain, and pepsin. That's 14.5. They're just little, I can show you. They're little tiny, oh, go the other way, there we go. Capsules, you just twist one end off and pour it in. It's like a powder. It doesn't really taste like anything, but stir it in anyway, because they can be tricky sometimes. Okay. It does have non-active ingredients as well. It has fructooligosaccharides, hypromulose, gellan gum, and maltodextrin, which, considering we've tried her on 3 different probiotics as well, one of them, the dosage it recommended was way too high, so I gave her less than half of what it said, and she still reacted. So we don't use that one anymore. Kaia likes this one. But when her digestion is really off, we also put a teaspoon of canned pumpkin, which really adds the fiber to help her get everything through if she's having diarrhea. And when you go, you could buy it in the grocery store. Do be careful though, because it's right beside the canned pumpkin. They're probably about this big around. Don't buy the pumpkin pie mix, which is a little bit smaller, but the can looks very similar, because the sugar content is way too high. Last but not least, Kaia has a double coat, which for a lot of you, if you haven't had a dog with a double coat, it's a lot of work to keep it healthy and groom regularly and things like that. So she gets coconut oil only in her breakfast. I give her probably a teaspoon and a bit. And it helps her coat and skin. It helps her immune system. It has antifungal, antibacterial, anything like that. So if she ever gets not quite feeling well, I give her a little extra or maybe some at her dinner. But it also improves digestion because it has a lot of those healthy fats in it. And it cleans the mouth. So if dogs that have bad breath, you can scoop some, and just kind of is really easy. If I give it to her as a treat, I just scoop some out of the jar and hold the spoon out to her, and she'll lick it right off the spoon. Piece of cake. But it cleans their teeth and keeps the bacteria out of their gums. I had a lot of people stop and say, "Wow, your dog's teeth are so white. What did you do?" I'm like, I brush them once in a while, give her coconut oil. I really don't put a lot of, I do think about it, but don't spend a whole lot of time on it. But we've had so many compliments on Kaia's coat. They go to pet her and they're going, "Wow, she's so soft." It's all coconut oil and raw food, I swear. I don't do anything else to her. She does get homemade shampoo because she's spoiled, but I don't even get homemade shampoo. But anyway, for the raw food, the portion sizes, it's all in percent of ideal body weight. So if your dog is overweight or underweight, then you would obviously feed more or less depending. Puppies get 5% of their ideal body weight. Adults get 2%, and active dogs get 3%. So Kaia started agility last week, and it was absolutely amazing. The other 2 people didn't show up. So Kaia had the whole class to herself, and the lady who runs it has 3 female Australian Shepherds. So she was very keen on what Kaia was doing, and she rocked the entire course. I'm so proud of her. She killed all of the obstacles. The only one she didn't have up was a weave pole, but she did the tunnel, she did the A-frame, which is this one. She did the dog walk, which is where you go up, across, and down. She loved the jumps. It was fantastic. I'm so excited to go back. She had so much fun. So that's my little story. But that's what Kaia eats. If you have any questions or want to know more about this lovely food, feel free to send me a message. That's all I have to talk about today. Next week, we're going to talk about the 6 most common cat health issues. I'll see you next week.